Good morning and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mir. Here we are on day 348, and I'm beginning the story of King Sivi. Now, King Sivi was an incarnation of the Buddha. Before the Buddha was the Buddha. And King Sivi had lived an exemplary life. He'd given as much as he could to his people, to his family. He'd done many virtuous deeds, and he'd created a kingdom, a city where people lived in prosperity, in good fortune. He followed the laws, natural laws, as best he could, seeking truth in all of his decisions, seeking truths in all the things that he did. And because of this, his influence was quite great, unlike our leaders of today. So King Sivi, at a certain point in time, he was reflecting on his life, and he looked back upon all the things that he'd done, and he thought, it doesn't really mean much of anything what I've done. All that I've given, all of my accomplishments, the life I've led, what does it really amount to? Nothing, he thought to himself. While I still have life and I still have strength, I wish to serve in a way that I never have before. I know that I have more to give. I know that I can give more. And I vowed to do so, to find some way that I can give more than I ever have to someone, to some people, to something. Now, Chakra, the king of the gods, had been listening in to all of this. He'd heard what Sivi had said. He was sitting on his resplendent throne, jewel-encrusted, light-filled chamber. And Chakra thought to himself, Sivi has led an exemplary life, and now I will give him something to live for. And rather than Chakra sitting there on his throne, suddenly there were two birds sitting on armatures on either side. One a fierce hawk with golden eyes, long legs, clawed feet, and a sharp beak. And on the other side, a dove cooing lightly. In a burst of wings, the dove took off from that seat and descended through the veil between the heavens and the earth, and began plummeting through the sky and the clouds toward earth, and directly toward the palace of King Sivi. The hawk, as you might imagine, took flight immediately after the dove and began to descend through the clouds after it. The dove had a good head start. As it came closer to the palace of King Sivi, it spied an open window, and it plunged in through that open window and landed on one side of the throne of King Sivi. And King Sivi looked at this dove and said, "My good bird, what is it that I can do for you?" The dove was obviously distressed. The dove said, "A fierce hawk is after me and wishes to take my life. Please, O king, protect me." And King Sivi said, "You have nothing to worry about. I will save you." And at that very moment, the hawk came flying in through the window after the bird and lighted on the other side of King Sivi and said, "O king, the prey of which I was after, the rightfully mine, is sitting beside you. Allow me to take that dove, and I will leave in peace. King Sivi said, I cannot do that, for I have vowed to protect this bird. The dove replied, well, what about me? I came rightfully after this bird for my meal. I must eat. I am famished from the chase. Well, said King Sivi, I will give you something else to eat. Oh, King, I need fresh meat. Are you suggesting that you kill something in order to feed me? King Sivi thought about this and thought, I cannot kill another to save the dove. King Sivi said, no, I cannot do that, but there must be a way. There must be some way. Look, choose something from my stores and I will give it to you. Oh, King, I need fresh meat. That is all I can eat. Well, King Sivi did not know how to respond, and he sat there on his throne, thinking, what is the solution to this? And we'll leave the story there. Can you come up with a solution for King Sivi? How is he to protect the dove and yet feed the hawk? Hopefully he'll come up with something. Okay, come back tomorrow for the finish of that story.